Okay, first things first is I want to say I'm so sorry. Sorry for this glare that's annoying me with these glasses. I just don't want to put my contacts in, trying to get my eyes to break. First thing I want to say is I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it took me so long to get this video. I thank you guys so much that have been following me on my skin journey, throughout my life. But then also through, me discovering PCOS, which is a hormonal issue that has run in my family, honestly. But it's very common. Even though some people are just kind of finding out about it, it's something that can affect your weight. It can affect your skin. It can affect your ability to have children. It has a lot of different effects. For me, my discovery of it is after I did a movie that really was stressing me out. My skin ended up going haywire, and I really was just like, okay, I need to figure this out, because I've had a long journey with skin issues since I was a kid, having to do with stress, obviously having to do with hormones, having to do with different foods that I don't know are triggering me, but definitely it's triggered a lot for stress for me as well, because of my type of job with acting and emotional stuff and just high stress type of situations. So I had just come off of doing a movie that stressed me out so much. My skin was going ridiculously bonkers, and I discovered, okay, there's more things that I can do that can help, and really realize that I don't want to be dependent on any drugs or anything like that to try and control my skin, because I did Accutane before. I also did very harsh prescription topical drugs, benzocaine, Topaz, I mean, the names are crazy, but anybody that's gone on the skin journey knows what I'm talking about. Even tried birth control as a way to halt my acne. But now I'm in a place where I've really been doing the work myself. And so I want to put this out there to everybody watching the video that, yes, I'm going to show the products I've been using to give me the good results that I've seen with my skin. However, I'm not going to be ridiculous enough to say this is exactly what's going to work for you, because I don't know what's going to work for you. We both could have PCOS. We both could have similar skin types. We both could dang near be the same person. It doesn't mean that what's helping me is going to help you. So I really want to say that and put that disclaimer out there. And I also want to put the other disclaimer out there that I'm not looking for nobody to give me no advice. Believe it or not, I know what it is with my skin. I've seen it be perfect. I've seen it be bad. And I'm learning the triggers every day right along with myself. If that makes sense. I'm learning the triggers every day right along with myself and God. Get into it. But the point is it's a specific journey, and no one can just try to tell you that this is what's worked for you. Yeah, people will say stuff, people will mention stuff. Delivery is always everything. Anybody that's having friends that's struggling with acne, careful what you say, because it's a very sensitive subject, and it also is not something that people are always trying to get help on. So if somebody's not coming to you and asking you, understand that you really are rude to even go out your way to say something like that. And I feel like anybody that's dealt with acne problems knows that, but sometimes things get mixed up, whatever. And my point just to say that if somebody's not asking for help, don't give them help. If they are, then be careful with that delivery, because people that have dealt with skin issues, it's been a journey their whole lives, so they know of their skin. And if they don't know their skin, then what should be encouraged is not that you have the answers, but that, hey, find the answers yourself, because that's what it was for me. There's not one cure fix all when it comes to my skin, and many people always try to tell me they had it. Really, I knew I had it when I started being able to do the trial runs on myself, and I was able to see what really worked for me. The one thing I can't show you on this video is the different food choices and changes that I made. I realized that fats are huge when it comes to my skin. I was on a keto diet when I was doing the movie I was talking to you guys about, and I didn't realize that how much of that fat was triggering and just throwing me all out of whack. My body does not just digest fat that well. Therefore, it was protruding from my skin and making it even worse. I also, within that is, no dairy, meaning no cheese, no eggs except for egg whites. And these are not things that you can always keep up on. So that's why, it was also taking me a long time to do this video, because I didn't want you guys to be like, oh, what happened? Because it's an up and down journey. Don't be hard on yourself. I learned not to be hard on myself. But now, even though it's an up and down journey, I know I know what I've done when it's not working. And that's the part that gives me such a huge sigh of relief, because now at least I know what the problem is and what the issues are. When I fell off my game and X, Y, and Z, and that was the thing that used to drive me crazy before, is not knowing and being like, what the hell went wrong? You know what I'm saying? Now let's get into some of the products. You know, first things first, find a cleanser that you like. A cleanser that I like is, I just washed my face. Actually, I should have washed it on here, but I love the Cetaphil Cleanser. I pretty much just put it on. You know, I would love to go through it again. Let me just go through it again for y'all. Shit. I take these 2 sponge pads that I really, really like. You can get them on Amazon. I wet them. I keep my glasses on. I'm kidding. Could you imagine if I was washing my face with my glasses on? Anyway. I put a little bit of the Cetaphil on here. You can barely see it. Oops. That didn't look very PG. A little bit of the Cetaphil on the sponge. I put them together and I just get it on. And I'm gonna take you through what I do on a daily, how I inspect my skin. Excuse me. Okay, so I did the sponge, I did the wash, I did the rinse, and then I take a second to look at my skin. Currently, I just filmed the movie Nope. Although I'm not a person that blames makeup for issues, I will blame schedule and makeup and not taking it off properly for issues. Yeah, so I kind of got off balance. So I went from kind of not only slowing down on seeing inflammation on my skin, but also the discoloration. So I actually just reached a point of a lot of the inflammation going back down again. It's a big part of why I took a minute taking this video, like I said, because I don't want you guys to see all this information and be like, what is she talking about? So I just got the inflammation to really go down. As you can see, everything that you see truly is really just scarring. There's really maybe it's like 1 or 2 little guys and maybe some light here, you know, kind of like blackheads or just undercurrent type stuff. But most of it is extremely flat. So what I do is, like I said, I wash my face, I pat it dry, and then I take a really good look at my skin. And I say, okay, what do we need to do? When I'm feeling my skin, I'm touching my skin after I've just washed it, okay, you know what, it's not any major stuff, just a couple of little things that need to be dried out. You know, obviously I want to maintain some level of moisture. So based off of what my skin is feeling like right now, I'm going to prescribe for myself a light mask of Noxema, which I use Noxema sometimes as a cleanser. Even though I just showed you guys the Cetaphil, Cetaphil is so light and so basic. Which is a good thing. Sometimes just like as a base cleanser thing. And then what I'll do next is I'll do a little bit of a light Noxema mask. And this is for inflammation. My dad told me about Noxema and I didn't want to believe him. I just, you know how us kids are. We think it's some old people stuff. But this truly helps. And so I do this morning and night when I feel very, you know, like, okay, I want to kill off a couple of more things. There's some inflammation there. Again, it's not crazy, so it's not a scenario where it's like I'm thinking about extractions or anything like that. It's just, okay, you know what? Let me dry this on up as best as I can with this Noxema. And like I said, I use it in the morning, not every single day, definitely probably like every other day. And I also use it at night. I'll use it sometimes as a sleeping mask. You know, and it works very, very well. It has not hurt my skin at all. But again, this is me. I really want to make that clear that this is, again, what I'm saying has worked for me, and it may not work for everybody. So I just let that sit in. When it's in the daytime, it's like 5 minutes. Like I said, at night, you know, I could do a real quick 5 minutes, or I might couple it with the retinol. There are a couple of things I'm going to mention to you guys that, you know, I really like as far as, you know, retinols. I think over-the-counter ones are best. I would not go to any of the extreme ones. And some things like tea tree or camphor, like the Noxema has camphor in it. Ultimately, that's the agent that is acting as an astringent and helping to attack these, you know, these little acne spots. And this is what works for me. I keep saying that because I know a lot of people, I read this, I read that, or I did this, or I did that. I'm telling you, what I've really, more than anything, what I'm explaining is how I discover what's best for me. And if some of these products work for you guys, that's great. But if they don't, that's fine. At least maybe the process of how I come to understand and trial and error with my skin could be of service to you. So again, camphor oil I really like, and I like that it's an ingredient that's used in Noxema. So I'll use that in the morning, and then also sometimes I'll use it at night on its own. I'll sleep in it, or I'll couple it with the, layering the retinol underneath and then a little bit of the Noxema on top. And it really does wonders for my skin when it comes to exfoliating and killing a lot of that inflammation. So now I'm gonna rinse this off and show you guys what I do next. Okay, now walking through what we just did. I did a little bit of the base cleanser with the Cetaphil, light, nice, chill. Then I came, secondly with the Noxema, which I use as a cleanser, light mask, about 5 minutes I kept it on. And again, I do something like that maybe every other day, not usually every single day in case I'm having just an extremely difficult skin week. The second step for most people and for myself would be a toner. I'm using pretty much an astringent as a toner, and again, I'm sure people are in the comments, oh, it's too rough, it's too rough. Well, hey, it's works for my skin. Again, I'm one of those people where, everybody has something that works for them. I know people that slap coconut oil in their face. My skin would die if I did that. So again, I'm walking you through the steps of what I know works for me. This really helps me in terms of, I've seen it help in terms of evening my skin out. I've seen it help in terms of also working alongside the Noxema to kill any of that extra bacteria or inflammation. Again, it has camphor in it, which I really do think is it's great for me. People use tea tree oil in a similar sense, and camphor for me works better than tea tree, and these products have it, therefore I like it. So I just put a little bit of the Sea Breeze on this cotton pad, and I just wipe. And sometimes, if it's too strong, obviously you see I didn't go under my eyes, I didn't go too close to my nose. I kind of just kept it right here in these areas. I'm gonna throw this away. And I'm just gonna let it dry, let it dry. Okay, and then the next step after this would generally be a little bit of moisturizer and a little bit of, some sunscreen, and it's done. But because I'm having those underneath things, and like I told y'all, I'm coming off of a very heavy kind of because of my diet, because of my workload. And so I'm gonna go the extra mile and use a BHA liquid exfoliator that can be worn under your moisturizer as well as under your sunscreen. So it's, you obviously should really protect yourself if you're using any type of liquid exfoliant like that. You want to protect your skin, make sure that it's safe. So I really love the Paula's Choice BHA liquid exfoliator. It's not too tough, but it does do the job. It helps to exfoliate. It does dry the skin just slightly. You might see some peeling the next day, but again, this is not extreme for me. And this is coming for somebody with problem skin. And that's why I do say, some people might be watching and say, oh, my skin, it can't handle it, it can handle that. Okay, then this is not for you. But this does work for my skin, and this is sometimes the kind of things that are helpful with people with problem skin, because it needs a little bit extra, you know what I mean? Especially if you can't go to a spa or something like this. It's almost like you're creating your own regimen. And for me, this is my emergency regimen. These are the things that when it's like I'm coming down from something, and hopefully as we continue to go on this journey together, you'll be able to see when my skin is in its best spot, the difference between some of the different things I'll be using. So I put a little bit of that on here, and then I put it on my face. Kind of the similar same spots that I did with the Sea Breeze. And this also helps, I'll say too, with the coloration, because as you can see, it's very light and underneath when it comes to the little blasting bumps that I have going on. Mostly of what any of the stuff I see that I want to fix is a lot of the discoloration. So this exfoliator, it helps with that as well. Then we let it dry. Okay, then once it dries, I'll be using my Belief Water Bomb Moisturizer, which is so good, especially again, when I'm using these agents that are gonna be, you know, kind of drying for your skin. I wanna make sure that I counteract that, you know, all of what's helping and what's, you know, working underneath there with something that is moisturizing and balanced. So I'm gonna take a little bit of that, my finger. Oh, I absolutely love this product. I'm so serious. And I'm sorry with the lighting is kind of, I did my best. I even got my like little light thing right here. Make sure I get up on my neck. Okay. Get that all in and good. Then after that, I use my sunscreen, and I like a lot of different sunscreens. Sorry, my mind went blank there. But right now I'm using Tracy Hudson's Protect Me Daytime Moisturizer. Wait a minute, this is the wrong thing. Oh no, this is it. Yeah, got spooked. But yeah, Tracy Hudson Protect Me Daytime Moisturizer with SPF 50%, or however you want to do it, percent, 50, whatever. You get what I'm saying. And so I actually put quite a bit of this on because I am somebody that is dealing with discoloration right now. So gonna put that on. And I know you're gonna be thinking, that is a lot. But honestly, you guys, it could be more. And if you're worried about the cast, which I'm not worried about because it eventually meshes in anyway, just keep on rubbing and rubbing and rubbing. All right. And that's my daytime morning routine, you know? I'll let you get a good look at the skin. Let's see if I take this off a little bit so you can. And for me, it's all about maintaining good texture, obviously keeping inflammation down, but that depends on more things than just the products that I use. It depends on the food that I'm eating. It depends on maintaining my regimen and all those kinds of things. So again, I just wanted to show this because I know I told you guys I was going to show you the products that I've been using that have really been helping me and that I've really learned are good to keep in my arsenal. So I wanted to show you guys so you can get a good understanding of it. And I'll probably do a nighttime one eventually, which involves some of the same products except not the SPF, obviously, and not the exfoliant, but instead a retinol. But I'll show you guys and can walk you through that at another day. But I just want to get this out there so you guys can see. And again, I'm not about trying to tell you what products you should use or what's going to be best for you. But I'm here to show and share my journey on how I learned how to help myself when it comes to my skin. Because not all the time do you want a doctor to tell you or an esthetician to tell you. Like, yeah, you're going to go to those people to get, you know, advanced advice. But at the end of the day, they're going to do, you know, prescribe something, or they're gonna do their thing, and then you're gonna have to go home and figure it out on your own. So more than anything, I want to just encourage people out there on their skin journey to get the skin that they want, that have dealt with skin problems, to know that, hey, you're not alone, and you know, it's all about us, you know, having accountability and saying, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna try that, and supporting one another. So that's all, that's it, and bye-bye.